Hey guys, it's Brass Check, and it's June 17th, 2026, and still hard at work on the hepatitis B book. It just gets more amazing. It's going to end soon, but every time I kick up a rock, there's more snakes under it. It's unbelievable. It's going to be one of the, well, I think it's going to be the best vaccine book ever, in my humble opinion. You'll see. Um, I managed to get food poisoned. And it was serious enough. I was in bed for several days afterwards. And then, of course, guys, if you don't know this, if you're food poisoning, you need to take special care of your liver for a long time afterwards. And then I managed to have an accident injury that re-injured a long injured spine. So everything came to a grinding halt about a month ago. But I'm still making progress, but not the kind of progress I was making. But the book's going to get done. But anyway, what I want to talk with you all about today is election fraud in California. You've probably seen the news about it. It seems almost comically obvious. Um, and what people don't know may not know, is that I've been writing about election fraud in California, not just writing about it, but doing absolutely independent research about it since 1997. And it just dawned on me that that's 30 years, almost 30 years. Next year's our 30th anniversary of Brass Check, and that was one of our first stories. This is our election fraud website from 1997. In fact, wow, so this is the 29th anniversary this month of the San Francisco election fraud website. Why is this significant? Besides the fact that it was talking about things that are happening in California right now, 29 years ago, because it focused on San Francisco. And you may know, or you may not know, but that's where Gavin Newsom emerged. He was a protege of one of the greatest practitioners of election fraud of all time, and that would be Willie Brown, who was mayor at the time. And Gavin Newsom, he was like head of parking meters or something, um, already a total crook. He actually covered up the wrongful death of a young man who was a bicycle manager, and he did that on behalf of a company called Deco, which illegally placed billboards on Market Street. I say illegally because you're not allowed to place billboards on a interstate, and that section of Market Street is an interstate. Anyway, um, one of their trucks ran over and killed a young man, and Gavin Newsom made sure that there were no problems related to the company. That's the kind of guy he is. And previous to that, Leco, which is a French company, they had taken him and put him up in splendor in Paris for a week. So he had a good relationship with the company long before he had to do dirty work for them. Anyway, that's just a sidebar. But anyway, this site is vast. We dedicated it to a poll worker, Dolores Evans, who mysteriously died a few days before she was going to be interviewed by a private investigator about the election fraud in San Francisco in 1997. You can read all about it. I'd forgotten this part. That means me and two other people, managed to get 15,000 San Francisco voters to call for a new election. We got the signatures, and a judge rejected the signatures. They were all legit, believe me. And there was a total news media blackout about the petition, about the fraud, and so on. Um, what are some of the things that happened? The next day, after the obviously fraudulent election, everybody knew it was a fraud. The two local so-called newspapers, the Chronicle and the Examiner, published headlines saying "No fraud." And then the California Secretary of State, Bill Jones, uh, he put out a paper that was drafted by the city attorney saying no fraud. And then the district attorney, um, who was an ardent supporter of the fraud, uh, gave a slap on the wrist, excuse me, to a precinct captain, not just some random dude, but a precinct captain who was caught voting at least twice once under an assumed name. Pretty serious felony, but he just got a little slap on the wrist. What else happened? There was a civil lawsuit against the Department of Elections. Um, and a San Francisco judge threw that out as well. And what else is here? Well, it's vast. It's vast. I detailed the entire mechanism, all the players, all the people involved, what specifically what they did. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. And behind each one of these links, assuming they're not broken, because it has been 30 years or 29 years, are documents and full pages, links to news stories. Um, it just goes on and on and on. Let's see, cast of characters. Does this page work? Yeah, I got him. Edward DeBartolo Jr., criminal. Willie Brown, criminal. The local media, criminals. It just it's a quite complete uh, uh, documentation of how election fraud works. Now you have to remember, in 1997, there was no such thing as election fraud. It never occurs in America. America is the land of the clean and the free and the ultra ethical. But I knew, and most people had a hunch, but I got the receipts of exactly how the election fraud was carried out, who carried it out, uh, and all the people that were involved in covering up. And again, this was 29 years ago. So now we have Gavin Newsom, the protege of Willie Brown, the election fraudster, um, now conducting a just, it's so blatant that I think that everybody sees it now. What will come of it, I don't know. But this is what we do here. You know, in this case, we were 29 years ahead of the curve. Uh, and we go back to our book now, and we will get it done. And you'll see why it's taken so much time and why it's so important. Um, we give credence and put faith in our medical system that it clearly does not deserve. And I know that's a scary thing for some people. You want to be able to trust the medical system, and there are some aspects of it. I think if you get an X-ray, generally they don't screw that up too badly. But beyond that, it really all needs a close examination, and nowhere more than in the crazy level of vaccination that young people are put through. Um, and it all starts with the hepatitis B vaccine, which, if you weren't aware, as of 1991, was put on the schedule, so that every newborn in America, you're born, and the very day you're born, they inject um, literally, I'm not exaggerating. I'm not stretching the truth. I'm not using hyperbole. They inject a waste product of genetically modified baker's yeast into the bloodstream of newborns in a um, kind of witchcraft, really, because the book goes into the science is real thin. You would not win a grammar school science fair award with the science they did to justify what they're doing. So we got to stop it. And this book is going to be the weapon. And I hope when it comes out, you'll support it. I'm going to keep the price super low for the first week, and I hope you buy 10. I'm not joking, and I hope you give them away because nobody has done a more thorough takedown of a vaccine than what appears in this book. And once you see how one of them is made and how one of them was put into play using fraud, you'll never be able to go back and just blindly assume that what they're saying about the various vaccines. I think it's up to 70 injections you're supposed to get now if you're born today. You need about 70 or 80 by the time you're 18. And don't forget, they can keep you out of school, they can keep you out of college, they can deny you work opportunities. Um, a lot of young people in the medical field, nurses and so on, they want to do internships, and they're told you get all the vaccines, or you're not getting the internship. Well, without the internship, uh, they can't really be full professionals. So this is a very serious business. Uh, we need to look at it because taking this full circle, the United States has the sickest population of children in the developed world. And believe me, there are a lot of poor countries that have much healthier children than we do. And what's the difference between us and everybody else? We vaccinate these kids every time they have a birthday with multiple vaccines. Um, and the system basically forces the families to comply. So we got to stop it. And that's what this book's about. So anyway, hope you'll support it when it comes out. Hope you'll go to brasscheck.com. Look at all the different websites we did in the text days before video. And I hope you'll scroll down and go to, I called it In Broad Daylight, another stolen election in San Francisco. And that comes under the category of San Francisco, America's Digital Age Banana Republic. Now think about that. It's almost 30 years ago. And it was very clear to me, at least, where all this was headed. And if we're not a banana republic now, we're a banana republic with nuclear weapons, basically. Um, and San Francisco showed the way. You know, we had the most digitally advanced city in the world, and they didn't even have hot water in the bathrooms in the public school. You know, so kids could wash their hands properly. I mean, it just and that was okay. That was okay. You know. So anyway, Brass Check. I will see you around. Uh, the book will get done, and I hope you will support it.
Brass Check TV, free to you, not free to us. We've got a server bill, we've got an email software bill, we've got a tech helper bill, and that happens every month. So to everybody that is supporting us financially, that's paying for their subscription in one way or another, we really appreciate it. If you're not, consider doing so. Everybody's got money for the newspaper and the cable bill and all that. Do you have money for media that's actually serving you? That's really the issue here. And when you help us, it allows us to get this information out to the world. So thanks to all our supporters, and if you're not a supporter already, please consider becoming one.